Hello, everyone, and welcome to Book Talk, the show where we talk about books. I'm your host, Tyler Gates, and today we'll be discussing the book Life of Pi with Jan Martel. Mr. Martel, would you be so kind as to introduce yourself to us and tell us a little about yourself?
Hello, I'm Jan Martel, author of Life of Pi. I was born in 1963 to a Canadian couple who were doing graduate studies. I grew up in France, Spain, Costa Rica, and Mexico. I've also traveled extensively through India, Turkey, and Iran, although I do spend much of my time now down in Montreal.
Cool. I've done some traveling as well, but not to the caliber of yourself. So why don't you tell us about your book?
Yes. My book takes place in the 1970s in India and the Pacific Ocean. I traveled to India while I was writing my third book, which ran its course whilst I was there. I had gotten some inspiration shortly thereafter in India for the Life of Pi and for the character Pi himself.
Ah yes, tell us about Pi, the main character.
Pi is a 16-year-old boy, and he's the youngest of zookeepers, which consist of his mother, his father, and his brother. His religious views are pretty much one of his defining features. When he starts out as a Hindu, adopts Christianity and Islam in his teenage years. When he's asked about this choice, he simply states that he just wants to love God. This was just for the sake of symbolism and irony.
The vast majority of the book takes place in the Pacific Ocean. Can you describe for us how this shapes Pi's struggles throughout the story?
Shipwreck. Pi has basically three main struggles: his curiosity, judgment from his peers, and balancing through religions. After the shipwreck, he has only one struggle: survival. Into many needs, such as food, water, and shelter that come first. Then there's a need of coping with his situation, companionship, and faith.
Do there come some lessons that Pi learns that can be shared with the audience?
Yes, indeed there are. The lessons of survival, psychology, and human nature are all interlaced throughout the story. And it's all in the overarching theme that the world isn't just how it is. Understand it. And in order to understand something, we bring something to it. Derived from this are the lessons that everyone interprets reality differently, and that to understand someone, it's that you have to understand their view of reality. And in the end, it all comes down to how you see the world.
Magnificent. Those are some fantastic lessons, and there are many more within the novel's pages. Now, Mr. Martel, to satisfy my own curiosity, could you indulge us in what your favorite scene in the book is?
I enjoyed the secular view and the spiritual view of the zebra that intersect for Pi to witness. I also quite enjoyed the scene where Pi regains his wits after the shipwreck and realizes that he really is stranded. Although overall, my favorite scene would have to be when he meets the French chef on the Pacific Ocean.
They're all fantastic scenes. Now, before we go, is there anything else you would like to tell the audience? Any final suggestions or warnings?
Well, first off, if you've seen the movie, don't read this book with a group who has not. They will not let you speak. Secondly, if you like zoology, psychology, or any of the ologies dealing with animals, read this book. If you like a book with a series of chronological events in order, repress this like, or you will get irritated, or just step away from the book. If you're looking for details, this book is for you. There are many religious references in this book, and it helps if you've taken any religious history classes or have a background in any of the three religions.
About all the time we have today on Book Talk. Mr. Martel, thanks for joining us today to talk about your book, Life of Pi. It was a pleasure meeting you. And thanks to our wonderful audience and to our English teacher for introducing us to this wonderful book.
Carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more.